Welcome back to my channel. By now, you probably know that making money on the internet is like the it thing to be doing. We see videos every day all over the internet, myself included, with people teaching you how you can make money online. Maybe you've thought about it, maybe you've heard about it, maybe you're so overwhelmed with information that you just don't even know where to start. Look no further. Now, before I sit here and try to convince you that making money on the internet is the easiest thing you're ever going to do, and that if you try the things I share in this video, you're going to become a millionaire by next week, let me just preface this video by saying you are in the wrong place. I personally have researched one too many a pyramid scheme to know that if someone on the internet is telling you that you can get rich quick, you probably need to run. That being said, if you're new here, hi, my name's Danielle, and I teach people on the internet how to start and grow their own small businesses using social media. Today, I want to talk to you all about the process of making money online, what that looks like, what options are available to you today so that you can get started. So if that sounds good to you, let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, I alluded to this in the introduction, but there is a ton of misinformation out there on the internet trying to teach you how to make money online. It's really, truly not super easy, and that's why it's really hard for me to see all of these online internet gurus trying to convince you that making money on the internet is something that is so simple to do, and that securing your first sale is going to happen overnight, and that the whole process in general is simple to get started and simple to start making money. And I'm sure by now you know exactly what I'm talking about. You've probably seen it, launch your course and make $10,000 in the first 30 days. Here's my 5-step formula to generate hundreds of leads. Use this trick and blow up your business overnight. The fact of the matter is, sure, maybe some of these strategies are possible, but the likelihood of them working for everyone is very, very slim. Because in my experience, I've actually been burned by some of these online coaches. A lot of them are just selling fluff at a high ticket price, and they're not really getting you or helping you to get any real tangible results. And so that's exactly why I wanted to create this video. I think this is the opportunity for you to learn from me for free in order for you to actually get started in your journey of making money on the internet. So if you have that understanding and you are not looking to get rich overnight, then let's go ahead and get right into this juicy information. Okay, so by now we've probably established that if you're watching this video, it's because you want to learn how to make money online. Danielle, stop talking and just start giving me the actual information that I want. Okay, so you like the idea of having a business, and you like the idea of having that business exist online even more. By now you've probably seen tons of videos on TikTok, or maybe tons of videos here on YouTube, just like my video right here, teaching you how you can start generating income on the internet. But you still might be wondering why. Why is online income so wonderful? Why is everyone constantly talking about it? Well, let me just share with you a few of my personal reasons why I think making money online is such a powerful and amazing tool to have in 2022. First reason, and one of the biggest reasons I actually got into making money on the internet, was that the startup costs are so much cheaper. Unlike traditional brick and mortar in-person businesses, the costs associated with selling online and starting a business that sells online are a lot smaller. You might need to purchase a domain name, a website, and maybe some initial inventory depending what business you're in, but that's essentially all you need in order to get started. And in the infancy stages of your business, there's no rent, there's no utilities, there's no staff that you need to pay, so those costs are so much smaller. The second reason why I love online business so much is that it offers more flexibility. Unlike an in-person business, you don't need to stick to a set schedule. While for your own sanity, it might be better to have some sort of schedule that you operate on, it's not like a traditional business where you have to be open for set hours of the day, be customer facing during those hours, and have times where people know when and where to find you. With an online business, you can make your schedule suit your needs and your lifestyle, or if you're in e-commerce, you can literally run your business 24/7 without having to actually be in the business, which means you have the opportunity to make money while you sleep. For me personally, one of the big draws to entrepreneurship in general was the ability to have autonomy over my schedule, to cater my days to whatever I felt like doing, and to really just have that freedom and flexibility to design a business around the lifestyle that I wanted. Honestly, the flexibility in an online business is just completely unmatched to any job I've ever had anywhere. Okay, and then the third benefit of having an online business is that you have the opportunity to reach a much broader audience when your business operates on the internet. Again, unlike a brick and mortar business where you're limited to only local clients within the geographic area that you reside, you have the ability now to reach people all over the internet and therefore all over the world. Fun fact about me is that my first client was actually based in the United Kingdom. I'm in Canada for reference. And one of my most long-term clients for yoga was actually based in Puerto Rico. And so now, even in this iteration of my business with online business consulting, I'm located in British Columbia, and most of my clients are primarily located back in Ontario. And that's all thanks to operating online. I could honestly go on for hours about the benefits of having an online business, but hopefully now you're convinced. So let's go ahead and move into what exactly those types of online income streams could look like for you. First things first, is really important to cover the fact that there are different types of online income, like active income versus passive income. I've talked about passive income in the video I mentioned earlier in this video, so I will also link that in the description below if you want to go ahead and check that out. Essentially, you can have a business where you make money by actually providing a product or service directly to consumer in real time, or you can have a business where you kind of do the work once, put it on the internet, and then continue to make money from it without you having to directly be working in the business all the time. Obviously, to most or many people, the latter sounds more exciting. Like, obviously, I want to do the work once and get paid forever. But it's important, and this is a big but, to understand that in order to be successful at generating passive income, there is a ton of upfront work that is required in order for you to be successful. Again, unlike those courses that you see advertised on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, where people are telling you, pay me $47 and I'll teach you how to make money while you sleep. This is not a get rich quick scheme. In most cases, it is not going to work that way. And again, at risk of repeating myself, I do recommend you go and check out that passive income video. It is linked down below, but in the video we cover what ebooks are, what online courses are, what memberships look like, and I really dissect how you can set those streams of income up in your business if that's something that you're interested in learning about. And in this video, I'm going to go over 3 other forms of income generating activities you can do on the internet. So let's go ahead and just jump right into them. The first one I want to cover is user-generated content. Please raise your hand if you are so sick of hearing people on TikTok, on YouTube, talk about UGC. I'll try and make this part pretty quick. But first, I just want to preface that what we are now calling UGC, or user-generated content, is not even true user-generated content anymore. User-generated content in its infancy, like back in the OG days of Instagram, circa like 2013, 2014, it was content that was created by users who were using a product that they genuinely loved and wanted to share. So say I was using a face wash and I loved it, I would snap a picture, I would tag the brand. Therefore, as a user, I was generating the content for that brand. What is now being called user-generated content, or UGC, is really just freelance content creation. Creators like you and I are being paid by brands to create content for their channels. Therefore, the UGC we now know today is much different than it was back 8-9 years ago, but it's also a lot more lucrative, let me tell you. In this new age of UGC, we're seeing major brands pay regular people like you and like me big bucks to create the content for their social media channels. Some brands are paying upwards of thousands of dollars every month for this content. So how can you land your first UGC gig? Well, I'm no expert, but I will share with you my experience. I actually found my first UGC gig by going on Indeed and searching content creator jobs in Ontario. I was living in Ontario at the time. But I know now I see on TikTok almost daily agencies hiring for UGC creators. So my best advice for you would be to search on job boards for content creator jobs. I would also be searching on TikTok, because if you didn't know, TikTok is the new search engine. I talked about it in last week's video, so if you do want to check that out, you can just click right here and give it a watch. And lastly, I would consider pitching myself to different social media agencies as a creator and see what you can find. Okay, the next source of online income I want to talk about is becoming an online service provider. I personally have been doing this in some capacity since 2018 when I first started my business. Back then, it was through private yoga and private meditation classes offered online, and now it's shifted into business consulting, again, via the internet. In both cases, I was offering a service to a specific customer via my online channels. And so for you to start this in your own business is to really think about what kind of service you could provide to what type of person, and then think of a way that you can deliver that service online. So when I was offering private yoga classes online, I would literally set up my camera at like an aerial view, and I would get on Zoom one-on-one with a client, and I would go through the yoga class while watching them on Zoom, but instructing through my own camera. Now, obviously, with business consulting, we usually just meet on Google Meets and we have like a face-to-face conversation like you would with any other kind of one-on-one call. So for me now, this looks like people going into my Stan store, which is linked on all of my social media profiles. They read about the services I have to offer, and they have the option to book directly into my calendar through that application. Now, you could set up your own Stan store if you did want to offer your audience a service. I do have a 14-day trial, which I will link in the description of this episode. Or you could create some sort of platform on your existing website where people can book into your schedule. Depending on the type of service you provide, you are able to determine what your schedule looks like, how people are going to pay you, and how much people are going to pay you, which in turn will determine how much money you could potentially make. Just keep in mind that with this kind of service provision, it does take a little bit of time to build up an audience, develop that know, like, and trust to be able to sell to them. And I'm going to cover that a little bit more later on in this video. Lastly, and I'll just touch on this briefly, is how to make money online through brand deals and brand partnerships. This is one that has grown for me quite substantially over the course of the past year as my TikTok following has grown. If you aren't familiar with brand deals or partnership collaborations, it's essentially where a brand will pay you money to talk about their product or service on your social media channels, and they pay you a set fee and you sort of like post an ad for them. I'll just quickly show you an example. I just heard about this cool opportunity and thought that I would jump on here and share it. TELUS Business is offering $25,000 in funding, advertising, and technology through their Stand With Owners program. All you have to do is click right here. It's free to apply. So in partnerships I've done in the past, the brand is typically looking to promote a specific program or service or product that they have, and then you negotiate a deal where you either post like a TikTok or an Instagram reel or an Instagram story, or maybe a combination of all three of those onto your own channels. It's kind of like a celebrity endorsement, only I'm not a celebrity. I'm just a girl on the internet. And again, to be completely honest, most brand deals aren't going to become super lucrative until you have like a decent sized following and a well-established brand, audience, and platform with which to post that sponsored content. But that being said, many brands are now willing to work with much smaller creators. So if this is something you want to get into, there are definitely opportunities out there, likely sooner than you might expect. And if you have any questions about this, you can always drop it in the comments and I would be happy to point you in the right direction. Okay, so hopefully by now you have a general idea of 3 different ways you can make money online, but you still might be wondering, Danielle, how do I even get started? How do we build a platform and form an audience that's significant enough that we can become a service provider or that we can secure these brand deals? And I've said it once and I'll say it again, but the most important thing that is going to get you success in building your online presence is to be consistent. Listen, if you are completely starting over brand new on social media and you have no following and you want to know how do I even get started, I do have a video on this right here where I talk all about how to start your social media channels over from zero. So if you haven't watched that video yet, please go ahead and start there. Now, if you've already watched that video or you just feel like, you know what, I have a pretty good handle on what's going on, I am just going to give you a few simple pieces of advice that will hopefully help take things to the next level. What I really want you to understand, and this is something I've mentioned multiple times throughout this video, is that making money online takes time. Whether that's making money in your own business, working with brands, becoming a content creator, it all requires patience, effort, and consistency. You can't just post once on social media and expect that it's going to blow up and your whole life is going to change. You also can't post maybe 10 times and wonder why you haven't had your big break yet. Social media is a long haul game. You need to be intentional, you need to have purpose, and you need to keep showing up every day with that purpose in mind. When I started my account on TikTok, for example, I simply was showing the behind the scenes of my business. I actually have this screenshot that popped up on my Facebook memories the other day. And I showed up without the intention of making a ton of money or without the intention of getting rich. I simply wanted to share my experience as a small business owner to connect with other people who were experiencing the same thing. And And so through that genuine desire to create connection, I was able to build the business that I have now. And so that's my advice for you, is really focus on fostering connection always. Even if it's one person at a time, someone comments on your video, someone asks a question, make sure you reply, make sure you get in there and you're in the conversation. And if you're watching this and you're thinking, Danielle, no one's commenting on my posts and no one's asking me questions, go out there and search for those people. Find people who are commenting on other people's videos, reply to them, get the conversation going. Genuinely, one person at a time. Even if you don't have an audience yet, I think that there's this expectation almost when we create an online platform that we want people to have this one-sided relationship with us. We think it would be so great if everyone just found our profile and loved what we were doing so much that they wanted to comment along. But the reality is that we're all caught up in our own heads, right? So you need to go out there and extend that arm out to other people so that they feel comfortable reciprocating that back to you. Just like making new friends in real life, it requires a level of mutual effort. Again, if you're really struggling with this and you're not seeing the growth on social media that you'd like, I also have this video right here, which will walk you through maybe some of the tweaks and changes you can make to your profile and your internet activity to really start to see that growth on social media. And of course, if you have any direct questions, you can always drop those in the comments down below. Okay, so by now we've covered the realities of making money online, different ways we can do it, how we can go ahead and get started, and by now you might be feeling a little bit overwhelmed. If that's the case, just know that it's okay, maybe take a deep breath, and you can always come back and watch this video again later. Listen, I love having the ability to make money online, but I really want to stress that if you are interested in doing so, it's not necessarily going to be easy, but that's okay. I want you to get clear on what your goals are, be willing to put in the time that it's going to take, and understand that patience and consistency are going to get you the results that you desire. I hope that this was helpful. As always, let me know in the comments what questions you have for me. I share videos every Friday with tips on how to start and grow your own small business right here on YouTube, so be sure to hit that like and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram for daily business advice, and I will see you in the next video.